My mother used all my child support money on her stepdaughter's medication, even though she ruined my childhood. Because of this, I won't allow her to be part of my life or meet my daughter. My mom and stepdad got married when I was 1 year old. My stepsister was 7 and most of my life I was afraid of her. She has bipolar disorder, and as she got older she got worse. She ruined my life. Everything that I owned growing up was either destroyed or she took. She'd even find a way to ruin my friendships/relationships, but my mom and her dad would always tell me she can't help it. It came to a head when I was 15. She gave my hamster away, and then when I made her feel, she trashed my room for the 100th time. It got to the point where I had to leave all my school stuff and clothes at my neighbor's house so she wouldn't ruin them. My neighbor told my dad the whole situation. Long story short, he got full custody and I'd not talked to her in 10 years before the other day. Recently, I've started having a relationship with my mother again and letting her get to know my 2 kids. She and my stepfather keep bringing up meeting my stepsister so she can be an aunt. Saying she's way better now and wants to see my kids. I told them in certain terms that I want her in our lives. Wednesday, I stopped by my mother's house and my stepsister was there with her preacher husband. She found God, lol. She tried to hold my baby but I told her no, then she busted out into tears. Apparently she can't have kids of her own. In one of my petty moments I told her it was karma. Due to everything she put me through. Then she and my mom tried to explain that it was the BPD not her and I'm ableist for holding it against her. My boyfriend got me out before I could even think of anything to say. Basically now I'm a bad person all over again and my mom wants nothing to do with me, again. Update: a few weeks passed without any contact from my mother. Then, out of the blue, I received a text from her. She apologized for how things had gone down and said she missed her grandchildren. She asked if we could try to meet again, without my stepsister, so she could spend time with them. I took my time before responding. Allowing her back into my life meant setting clear boundaries and ensuring my children's safety. I finally replied, explaining that while I was open to seeing her, I was uncomfortable with my stepsister being around my kids. I also emphasized that I needed to see genuine change and commitment from her side to respect my decisions and boundaries. My mother replied, saying she understood and just wanted a chance to be a grandmother. She promised to respect my wishes and keep my stepsister away from any visits. Despite her assurances, I was still wary. A few days later, my mother texted again, asking if she could come over to see the kids. I thought long and hard about it but ultimately decided to refuse. I wrote back, explaining that I wasn't ready to reopen that door and needed more time to heal and regain trust. I suggested we could keep in touch through phone calls and video chats. She didn't take it well. She accused me of being cruel and unforgiving and said I was punishing her and my stepsister for things that were out of their control. The guilt tripping was intense, but I stood my ground. I've decided to maintain a distance and focus on my family. I'm open to possibly rebuilding a relationship with my mother in the future. Still, it has to be on my terms, with respect for my boundaries and a genuine effort from her to understand the pain and trauma I've been through.